So now we're gonna move on to our AFC North division predictions, our rankings, essentially. So, Jerry, you can go first with your fourth place team. I think we all know it from the way you've been talking about this team the whole pod. Who do you have fourth in the division?
Of course, I'm going to pick the Browns. Like I said, I just don't believe in them to live out their potential with big ifs like Jerry Judy and Deshaun Watson, and their defense kind of crumbling in the AFC wildcard round is just not very encouraging. So I'm sure their defense will bounce back, but it's just not very encouraging to see their defense not pull through in the clutch when that's supposed to be the
Mhm.
best aspect of the team. So that's my number
So,
four. What about you?
what do you? Quick question: what do you have their record being around like?
I don't think they'll be a terrible team, but I'd say maybe 7 wins, 7-9, or sorry, seven and
Okay.
ten.
Uh, I'd say my fourth place team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, I understand that defense can be dangerous, but I really do not believe in this wide receiver core. Pickens has to take a huge step, or things might get dangerous in a bad way. So I don't know how Russ is going to do with this kind of supporting cast. I understand their run game is strong, but I'm not a huge fan of the Steelers. I still have them going 9-8, but I think they miss out on the playoffs this year. So what's your third place team?
My third place would probably be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like you said, there's a lot of question marks on the team. Whether or not the offense can pull through is the main thing, and if the defense can stay healthy. I think if the defense stays healthy, everything goes well. I'd cap them out in maybe a 10-win season. So I'll lock them in as 10-7, sneaking into the playoffs.
I
So
need to
who,
say
who
mine.
do you have as your third place team?
My third place team is the Cleveland Browns. I really do believe in this defense. I think it's a strong defense. I think bringing back Zadarius Smith is huge, and I think this team can figure it out offensively. I don't think Jerome Ford and Deonta Foreman as a platoon is the worst options in the world. I believe in Amari Cooper, and I think this team can be all right. I have them going 10-7. Just a regular season. I think they can that defense can take them places.
What
So
I
who do
will
you have
say
in second?
is if
Uh,
let me if I, what I will say is I think if they're able to invest in a young quarterback in the years to come, like DTR, or if they go through the draft, I think that this team can very much evolve into a consistent playoff team. But this year, I
yeah,
just
it's
don't believe in it.
that Deshaun contract might be the worst contract in sports. But
Not worse than Russ.
yeah, not worse than who?
Russ for the
Russ
Broncos.
who?
Wilson for the
I'm talking
Broncos.
about right now, right now.
Uh, but they're still paying it off though. So
Yeah, but I still think Deshaun is at 68 million on the cap hit, bro. I think it's worse. I think it's worse because Deshaun didn't play a year and he was bad when he came back. But hopefully
but
Deshaun can
Russ
bounce
isn't going to be
back.
playing for like 3 years, and they're going to have to pay for all three of those years.
That's true. Okay, that is
That's going
true.
to be crazy.
But I hopefully Deshaun can come back. Obviously, I'm not a fan of what he did off the field, but on the field, I was a fan being from Houston and all. So hopefully Deshaun can bounce back. So who do you have as your second place team?
I'll take the Cincinnati Bengals to have a bounce back year. I'm banking on Joe Burrow staying healthy and Jamar Chase returning to his great form. Obviously, like I said, I don't think he'll be a top five receiver going into next year, but I think he'll still easily be top 10, top seven caliber receiver. And I think that offense will be able to carry them to the playoffs. And I think the defense has gotten slightly better from last season. So I got them going maybe 12-5, making
I
the
definitely
playoffs
agree there.
as a wild card.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The Cincinnati Bengals are my second place team because I believe Joe Burrow can take this team places. Even as a Chiefs fan, I can respect his game. He's a great quarterback, an elite quarterback, and so with the addition of Zach Moss, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase staying healthy, I think this team can go places. I actually like Zach Moss more in this offense because he's a lot more explosive than Joe Mixon. I like the moves they made on the offensive line this season, which has been a huge struggle for them during Joe Burrow's whole tenure. They have more depth than they ever had. So yeah, I think they're going to be a solid second place team, but I think we all know who's going to be first in this division. Jerry, why don't you go ahead and say it?
Of course, the Baltimore Ravens just, I mean, they haven't really taken a single step backwards. Even with losing as many players as they did, they've still been able to maintain through the draft, through signing arguably the biggest player of the offseason, Derrick Henry. And I think they're not going to miss a step even after losing the AFC Championship. I think they're basically a lock to make it back there and maybe even the Super Bowl.
Not a lock for the Super Bowl. We know who's in the AFC West in red and yellow, but I
Yellow.
definitely think
Not
the
even yellow,
Baltimore
second yellow.
red. You know what I mean? You got the. I'm not gonna say red and white.
Yellow is
Yellow.
definitely more red and white than red and yellow.
I know,
It's not
but
even
I
yellow
want to
and
say
yellow.
red and yellow.
All right.
Yellow is more specific to the Chiefs, bro.
All right.
Anyway, as I was saying, the Ravens can make it to the AFC Championship. They're not winning it. We both know that. But man, that defense signing Derrick Henry is like the
Do
puzzle,
we?
the last piece of the. Huh?
Do we know that?
What'd you say?
I said, do we know that? I don't. I'm
Yeah,
not
we
so
know.
sure about that.
We know. We
I'm not
know.
so sure
Look
about
at look
that.
at our look at our receiving core this year. We got Hollywood. Hollywood is such an addition, bro. Be
He
honest.
ain't shit.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna say the Baltimore Ravens are always gonna finish first in the division. I really think an elite running back was the last piece to their puzzle. So bringing in Derrick Henry can really change things for them. That's what I think, and I think that will definitely keep them first in the division for a while to come if they can bring in another young running back after Derrick Henry, since he's getting up there in age. But I really do believe in this football team.
And I think that'll just about do it for today's episode. Thank y'all for tuning in today to the inaugural first Final Whistle podcast. And man, it's been a pleasure. We'll keep hitting y'all with some trivia, with some exciting content in between episodes. I think Josh has a solo project planned, so keep on the lookout for that, and we'll see y'all next time.